Savage people keep coming around. I really need someone to give me some sort of sound. Otherwise I'm bound. Whirlwinds keep bringing me down. Savage is the only sound. Heaven's not on this level, so I'll hold on to this rose petal. Did you want to tell me anything? 'Cause most days are dark waiting for rain. Get me out of this vortex space, 'cause I'm still waiting for a veil of lace. One day goes on to the next in this place. I look in the mirror, still have the same face, hoping you'll give me a reason to change my pace. Whirlwinds keep bringing me down. Savage people keep coming around. I really need someone to give me some sort of sound. Otherwise I'm bound. Worlds keep bringing me down. Savage is the only sound. Heaven is not on this level, so I keep holding on to this rose petal. Sunshine, you're my beam of hope. Sunshine, I'm thinking no. Whirlwinds keep bringing me down. Savage people keep coming around. I really need someone to give me some sort of sound. Otherwise I'm bound when whirlwinds keep bringing me down. Savage is the only sound. Heaven's not on this level, so I keep holding on to this pedal. Savage is the only sound. Heaven is not on this level, so I keep holding on to this rose petal, to this rose petal, to this rose petal. Sunshine.
Here we go.
Hey, how you guys doing out there? This is Jay Gambino, giving everybody a chance to get their original songs played on the air. When you write a song, you always want it to go out on the airwaves, so you heard two songs by Elizabeth Ashton, singer-songwriter, right here in Las Vegas. Her songs are very deep in storytelling, and we put it out there for you to think about life a little bit. She is a therapist by day and singer by night. So if you want to call in, Elizabeth, and say hello and explain the message behind your music, you can do that in about 20 minutes. Right now, we are bringing right here to KSHP 107.1 FM. We have Miss Arkansas. Miss Arkansas is a comedian. I've had the pleasure to work with her in a couple of places. Miss Arkansas, where you at? Are we on the line?
I am actually in Arkansas.
You are actually in Arkansas right now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. Well, I just got to tell you, the next time you're in Vegas, I'm the new resident MC, comedian, host of Motown Extreme. It's a Monday show on Las Vegas Boulevard, 4:30 to 6:30. So the next time you're in Vegas, let me know, and we'll put you up on stage at Motown Extreme, Laughs and Lyrics. How is the comedy world out there in Arkansas?
Well, everybody trying to stay above the water. It's like a lot of time you have to create your own stuff.
Right,
It's
right.
like, so I have to make my own shows and produce them and all that good stuff. But all praise be unto God. Every time I do it, it sells out. So that's a good thing,
Well, there you go. There you go. You got your following. You got your fans. That's all it is. It's just building blocks. Every time you perform, you gather more and more and more followers, more fans, and before you know it, you got a packed house. You got a
Ain't
packed
that
house.
right?
Yep. How many years you been doing comedy now?
Ooh, Lord, it's been over 30. I'd say probably like 34 now.
Wow. Okay. And what's it like out there in Arkansas? Do they let you just get on the mic and go free, or do they have a lot of rules like you can't say this and you can't say that?
No, you can pretty much do you. But me personally, I've been doing it so long, I know what to say, when to say, how to say.
Yes, you just
So
assess your
they don't have a
audience.
problem. Right, they don't
Yeah.
have a problem with me taking the mic because they know I'm not going to just get up there and say no anything. But, if they know some of them that got a foul mouth, they'll make sure they let them know what they could say and can't say.
Yeah. Right. 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 So, how was your 4th of July last night? Was there a lot of fireworks in the air?
Well, some of the people were shooting stuff. I don't know if it was a firework.
You don't know if it was guns or fireworks, right?
Right. It was
Um,
so loud. Oh, my God. But I'm just glad that's over.
Right, right, right. That is true, man. Sometimes you can't tell the difference, and then you get a shock and a surprise when it's all over. And see a couple of cop cars, you're like, "Oh, that wasn't fireworks."
But it's always a good time with my family.
Of course, of course, of course. So, what's the weather like out there? I know there's some floods up in Texas. What's going on out there?
Well, I won't say nothing about it right now because it might happen. But here in Arkansas, we deal with a lot of rain and tornadoes.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah,
But
I've
I
never
don't
been
want
to
to call their
Arkansas.
name. Look, I didn't want to call their name because they might come.
I've traveled all around the world, but I've never been to Arkansas. I've never performed
Oh,
there,
you gonna
never
have to
been there.
come to Arkansas.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I used to get in arguments with my teacher when I was a kid because, the way it's spelled, Arkansas, and that little, you break it down, hooked on phonics. So I was always like, Arkansas, this and that in Arkansas. And the teacher's like, no, Arkansas. I'm like, well, wait a minute. You told us to break it down and sound it out. I don't see Arkansaw, Arkansas. I see SAS, Arkansas. So what is the proper way to say it?
Arkansas.
No shit, but yet it's SAS, Arkansas.
I know it. I would have thought it would have had a SAW.
I
But
know. I went rounds and rounds. I think I actually got dismissed from the classroom over that because I was just like, I just like things to make sense. And I'm like, okay, you've been telling
right.
us to break it down, sound it out. It clearly looks like Arkansas, and now you're telling me to say it like it's an SAW. So things are not always as they appear.
That's just like Las Vegas. I would have thought that was LOS, but Los Angeles got the LOS, and you guys had the
You
LAS.
know what? You're absolutely right. I never even thought about it. Yeah, because really it would look like Las Vegas, right? Or Vegas. Or Vegas. Las Vegas. I guess there's a few people hanging out at the bus stop that got Las Vegas eating too much Taco Bell.
Right.
No, I never thought about that one. You just opened my eyes. Yeah, it's true because Los Angeles is LOS, but then Las Vegas is LAS. That is very, very true.
Right.
Very true. Of course, we
Somebody
just
was
call
on
Las
something
Vegas.
when they was creating all this stuff. I don't know what they was on. Maybe they had their children to decide.
Right, right. So, what's your story? What got you into comedy?
Well, do you have time for it? No, I'm joking. Actually, I'm from a family of 10. My mother had 6 children. I mean, 6 girls and 4 boys, and I'm number 6.
Wow.
Growing up, I got in first. I didn't just start off in trouble. I was a good kid, did the norm,
Right.
sneaking out, doing this, doing that. And when I got older, I had ended up getting in some trouble. And I tell you, like I tell everyone else I do interviews with, TV, post office, I don't care where I am. And God say share, I share. But over 30 years ago, I got in some trouble and a life was actually taken. And as I speak to you right now, I don't even know if the bullet from the gun I had took that young lady life. They told me that my statement got me locked up because I said I shot one time, and that's been bothering me over these 30 years,
Oh, wow.
not knowing. And I did have the decency to ask her mom and her children to forgive me if it was me. And they say they do, and I had to ask God to forgive me if I did it. And then I finally learned to forgive myself, because one of her children said, Miss Rudd, free yourself. So that was like oh my God, something for me to move on. But it still bothered me not knowing because there was some more shooting going on after the club that night. And I would really like to know, you know what I'm saying? Not
Right.
just having this burden on me, not knowing if it was or not. But anyway, I ended up going to prison. I did 3 years in prison, 11 months in the county before going. And when I got out, instead of being one of the worst criminals, I chose to be one of the best comedians because I was getting so many no's. You know what I'm saying? No, 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 no. With the help of the good Lord, I had to make a yes for myself.
Right, right, right. So you turned to comedy to get you through them hard times?
Yes. I done had a couple of little jobs, but when I tell them the truth or tell them about the past or whatever, they end up letting you go. So it don't make no sense of going through all that if you got to lie on the application. So
Exactly.
I rather just do like the polices and firemen. I'm on call. When someone call me with a budget and a booking, I go to work.
There you go. There you go. That's keeping it real. So can I ask you, when you were doing your time, did they ever? Because I know some of the prisons will have comedy. They'll have in-yard comedy, and they'll do comedy from the prisons. Did they ever offer anything like that where you were locked up?
Well, when I was in prison, I didn't have time to be telling no jokes. I had to make them think I was a gangster.
Yeah, right. Survival of the fittest. Well, that's
But I did
understandable.
start singing in the choir, and I kept my class A, and that allowed me to go outside the prison to other places with Miss Shirley Danner. She was like the mother of the prison, and she took us places to sing and just pretty much keep us out of trouble while in trouble.
Right, right. And do you mind if I ask you how old you were when that happened? How old were you when you got locked up?
Oh my God, I was like 20. Let's see. No, I was 20 something. You know what I'm saying? I try not to go that far back. I'm
Okay,
more
all right.
concerned about what's going on today than back then, but I don't have a problem with sharing. I know I was young.
Yeah, yeah.
And not
Today,
only was I young, my parents didn't have that kind of money to get a lawyer for this situation.
so I'm gonna imagine
When
you did your time in Arkansas, correct?
yes.
Yeah. So,
And Bambi, I always say when I get blessed with some money, I want to go back to the prison, not to do time, but to do a live taping because Monique did it. She said I could have been your cellmate, but mine's gonna be I was your cellmate.
oh, there you go. There you go. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I watched that one
So
with
I want to
Monique. I
go
did
back
watch
and
that one.
film that and not only film it, but share my testimony with those that's still doing time. Because I went to an event months ago, and they brought the prodigal daughters there. There's some young ladies that sing in the prison, and I've been out over 30 years, and those young ladies are still in their prison. I don't feel they should hold nobody that long,
Right.
because at the end of the day, God is the one got to judge everybody.
Right.
And you gonna get judged.
Yeah, for sure.
And you gonna get your punishment. You either gonna get a reward or a punishment.
That's right.
So I don't feel people should be kept in captivity that long. That's my opinion.
You have any
And
advice?
some of them saying the same thing I'm saying. Don't even know if they did it.
So do you have any
you ain't
advice?
no lie detector test or nothing. Excuse me.
Do you have any advice for the young kids today, like the ones that are hanging out, and they're just slinging and doing their thing at the parties on Friday night? Do you have any advice for the young kids as to not end up in the shoes that you were in?
Well, I would just say and let them know that it's so easy getting in trouble, but it's hard as getting out. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah, because
don't
once
think
you
your parents, if your parents doing right by you, listen to them. But if they ain't doing right, don't worry about them. But it's always somebody God gonna have to tell you right from wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even if don't nobody tell you, He say try the spirit by the spirit. So your spirit gonna let you know if you going the right way or the wrong way. But it's up to you to pay attention.
That's right. That's right. That's why I think comedy is very healing. I'm 59 and I've been doing comedy off and on all my life since I was a teenager in school. And the thing about it was,
Okay.
it was always my personal therapy. I used comedy
Right.
to get me through whatever was making me mad, and I soon quickly realized it was better that I just sarcastically made some jokes and got everybody laughing rather than ball up my fist. So I
And
started.
that's how I feel.
Yeah.
That's what I was sharing with my grandson. He sings, well, he raps. And, sometimes people upsets him. And I was explaining to him the other day, do like grandma. When someone upset me, I write a joke about them. I just don't say their name.
Yes.
So if somebody upsetting you, put them in your music.
There you
Just don't
go.
say their name. They don't know who you're talking about.
That's right. And if they do, then
But
they
it
need to
won't
clean up
be
their
nothing
act.
on your heart, right?
That's right. That's right. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I love about comedy. It's a real healing therapy for anybody. If you learn to laugh at yourself, and if you learn to joke about what bothers you, it's way better than going out and catching a case. So
You're right.
yeah, way better because, like you just said, in a blink of an eye, you can do something that gets you locked up, and then it takes a long, long, long time to erase that and to erase the hurt that went with it and to get people to trust you. So it's better to just take a breath and say something funny, say something silly.
You're right. And I shared this too. Over a year ago, I had, it was before over a year ago, I did my own paperwork concerning a pardon. Because they say I can't get an expungement, I have to get a pardon. So I did the paperwork, I sent it to the prison and everything. Those people gave me favor, Maverick or whatever you call it. And they said they agree with everything I was saying, so they approved it. So I had to send it to the governor. She sent me a paper back a year later saying I was denied and try back in 5 years. And
wow.
when I tell you I cried like I had lost everyone I ever met, and I had to get in a quiet place and talk with God. And I was asking him, how did this happen and why did this happen? And you bigger than this and you bigger than that. And quiet as, just like I'm talking to you, I heard God say to me, be still and know that I am God. And I was like, wow. And he said that he had pardoned me when I was in my mom's womb, that I didn't need no pardon from them people. He started reminding me of all the places he have taken me, the Apollo, and allowed me to do comedy on Southwest Airlines above the clouds and this place and that place. He was bringing all that stuff to my remembrance. He was bringing back to me how the doctor said I had cancer. 2 times they tried to say it, and I didn't have it. How he had blessed me with 11 beautiful grandchildren, and now one great grand. He was just bringing everything to my remembrance, letting me know I didn't need that governor. I need him.
That's right. That's right. One thing I always tell people, because I used to do this thing called Streetwise Alive, and it was to, teach the kids, all the gangbangers, to just flip the script. When you pissed off and you frowning, turn the frown upside down and then you'll smile. And I used to teach them how to write their feelings so they could do monologues or, like you said, rap songs or anything. But I would always tell them, look, if you got God in your life and you got faith, just remember this: as long as you got faith and you praying and you trying to stay in his lane, there's always a knockdown but never a knockout. And that's the part that everybody has to remember.
I needed to hear that too.
Always a knockdown, never a knockout. So I'm glad our paths crossed. I'm glad I met you last month, and I do look forward to you coming out to Vegas and joining us in our comedy set down here. So when you do come out to Vegas again, give me a call. And I produce a couple of shows here in town. I have every week the Chill Bar and Grill, the Italian Chill Bar and Grill. So anytime you come to town, just let me know. We'll put you on stage, let you shine like the star you are. And one of these days we'll set up a backstory interview with you. I like to talk to you off of line, and then we'll set up a backstory interview where maybe you can counsel some of these kids that are maybe a day away from doing something that would change their life, just like you said.
Wow, I would love to do that.
That would be wonderful. That'd be positivity. And speaking of, I just had Johnny Giovanni Rulli walk in the house. Johnny, how you doing today?
Hi, baby, I'm good.
So I'm on the line with the comedian Miss Arkansas. And she was sharing some truths, Johnny, that I think even you could relate to. In her younger days, she had gotten involved with some friends and some activities that a few shots were fired, and she ended up in prison. She's a successful comedian today, but she was reflecting on her life, how just one moment in time, one bullet changed her whole life. And Johnny Giovanni, Arkansas, I wish you could meet him in the flesh, but this is legendary Johnny Giovanni Rulli. Everybody talks about Vegas when the mob ran Vegas. Well, Johnny's been running things in Vegas since '66, but he had his time, and he went through what you did. She was just talking about how she tries to get a job, and then that comes up that she did time, and then nobody wants to give her a chance.
No.
Yeah, so she had to build her own job, by doing comedy and just joking about the things she'd been through. But Johnny, tell her who you are and how much time you did. This is Johnny Giovanni. You'll never talk to a more honest, wise guy in your life. Johnny, say hi to Arkansas.
Hello, honey. How are you?
Or Arkansas. Miss Arkansas.
Hello.
Hello, sweetie. How are you? Yeah, I did time too, but I was fortunate enough because when I came out here, it was tough. It wasn't that tough because the different people were here. There was no corporations at the time, so therefore having a record wasn't no big deal back then. But I got fortunate enough that I had some great jobs, and I went back east and I hired an attorney, and I went up in front of the pardon board, and I got my whole record expunged. I got a governor's pardon. So
she was just talking about that.
I got a governor's pardon, and the best part about it, the guy who was sitting on the pardons board was a guard at the prison that I was in. So when I went in there, he gave me a heads up, like he was going to do the right thing, and I got the pardon. And when I came back to Las Vegas, when they sent me the paperwork in the mail, I went down to Metro. I showed them it. They took it out. They took out my. So right now, I don't even have a traffic ticket.
That's beautiful.
Wow, thank God.
That's beautiful.
Mr. Johnny, a quick question. Was you just here in Sherwood, Arkansas?
No, I was never there, honey. I ain't going there either because they'll hang my ass.
I don't think too many Italians have seen Arkansas.
Oh,
I don't even know where it's at on the map.
The reason I asked, we had, I got you mixed up with the guy that was part of the mob. They had
Yeah, no.
Godfather. Made that movie Godfather.
Oh yeah,
He
no,
was here
yeah,
and
Johnny's.
gave a powerful testimony too about how it was 50 of them and 48 of them have passed. One still in prison doing a life sentence,
Yeah.
and he the only one out sharing the word of God.
Well, that's like Johnny, the gentleman you're talking to right now is 85, and he been running
Oh
things.
wow, he don't sound like it.
Oh yeah, he don't even look like it. He looks like he's 65. Yeah, he works
Oh,
out.
he sounds like he's 35.
Yeah. Well, believe me, he didn't lose any of his charisma or anything. He's the Italian stallion around Vegas, but
Wow. Well,
I,
maybe I'll meet with Mr. Johnny when I come back to Vegas, and maybe he can give me a plug on how I can get rid of my past.
Yeah,
Yeah.
baby. Yeah, I'll be more than glad to.
Oh, God, thank you.
all right. So,
Ooh.
thank you, Miss Arkansas. Thank you for calling today. I
Oh,
am
you got to
anxious.
ask me where I'm going to be.
I'm anxious to hear your comedy. Where's your next show at anyway?
Actually, I like saying if God say the same because we don't never know what's going to happen. But if he agree, I will be in Shreveport, Louisiana on the 20th this month.
Okay.
I got a headline there.
Nice.
And then if he agree, I will be back in Vegas September around the 17th, and I'll stay till I get ready to leave. But
Okay.
I'll come back for my sister's 65th birthday. You met her too. She was sitting there with me. So I'll let you know once my ticket is booked and all that good stuff, and then I'll set something up to, meet with you again or
Definitely,
perform.
definitely. I'd love to, like I said, have you share some laughs with all of us, and then maybe get a little backstory interview with you. Talking about how the past was and what led you to where you are today. Because it is the things in our past that lead us to where we are today, and it makes us who we are today. So I would love to
Right.
see that comedy thing. I saw Monique's where it says I could have been your cellmate. I like what you just said. I was your cellmate. So yeah, that
Right.
would be an interesting prison show, and I definitely think you would be a success because you would be walking the walk and talking the talk that everybody can understand.
You right.
Yep.
Wow.
So remember this: always a knockdown, never a knockout.
And a setback is only a setup for a comeback.
There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. I hope you have a beautiful day, beautiful weekend. I'm gonna grab the next caller on the line, and then I will
Okay,
be.
and before I go, I want everybody that's listening, if you're not following me, follow me over on Instagram at Miss Arkansas Comedy and tell me you heard me on this show, and I gladly follow you back.
Thank you, KSHP 107.1 FM. We were live getting the backstory from the comedian known as Miss Arkansas. Miss Arkansas, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ciao, ciao. All right. Did we let everybody know that the art gallery show was canceled? It is not today. As we know, yesterday was 4th of July. DJ Mala was out of town, so we moved it to July 12th. The promo art gallery show will be Saturday, July 12th, usual time, 2 to 5. And as everyone knows, you come in, it's a free show. You get one free glass of wine. And we are doing something to create unity in the community to help everybody combat depression through creative expression. Depression through creative expression. Now, your PCA right here about the art gallery. How you guys doing out there in Las Vegas? This is Little J Gambino and the crew waiting to entertain you by bringing a little unity in the community. As you know, suicide is on the rise. Not a good thing. Let's learn to combat depression through expression. Creative expression. You know, we all have a God-given talent. Whether we paint, we draw, we sing, we dance. The first Saturday of every month is your time to shine like the star you are. Come down to the Meadows Mall, City of the World Art Center. Las Vegas. Brit Inspires right here.
She actually made poverty seem like, we weren't really poor. So when she would say, hey, we're going to go back to school shopping, I was like, yay, like I'm so excited to get new outfits. And she would pull up to the thrift store, and I was like, come on, Mom, for real? She's like, you want new clothes? I'm like, these are not new clothes. And so we would go into the thrift shop, and I just remember just like feeling disheartened and like walking through the thrift shop. And one thing I noticed in the thrift shop was, and this was before thrift shops were cool, because like it became a cool thing later. But when I was a kid, it was not cool. When I walked in, I noticed that they had an underwear section, and I was like, there's not enough sanitation of somebody's balls or ass in those panties or drawers, like out of my head. Oh. That's disgusting. I'm just like imagining someone walking into the shop like, those are some gently worn panties. I don't see any doo-doo stains. Alright. I still have 1 minute, so I'm going to tell you guys something really cool.
Hello, KSHP 107.1 FM. This is Jay Gambino right here with the radio station show you can't forget about, in the house with the legendary Johnny Giovanni Rulli. We just spoke a little bit to comedian Miss Arkansas, and now we're going to speak to comedian Brit Inspires. Brit Inspires, are you out there?
Hi, yes, I'm on. How are you?
Hey, Brit, how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
I can tell you're smiling. That's why you inspire people. You always enter the room with a smile.
Yes, I'm actually smiling right now. I'm so excited to be on air with you.
And you know what's funny about it, if you think about it, as a comedian, we should enter a room smiling. Our job is to make people smile, turn the frown upside down.
Yes, it is.
So I got some great information for you. I was talking with everybody over at Motown Extreme. I sent them over your headshots. So this Monday, everybody come down to Las Vegas Boulevard, Motown Extreme Laughing Lyrics. Miss Brit Inspires will be on stage for 10 minutes doing what she does best, which is making us laugh. And guess what, Brit? You're going to be filmed live by Tubi, Netflix, and Prime Video. How does that feel?
Oh my God, amazing. I'm excited. I can't wait to get on.
Yeah. So what's been happening with you? Where you been at lately? I know you've been jumping around doing what you do. On Thursday nights, you guys can always catch her over at the Chill Bar and Grill, the Italian Chill Bar and Grill. It's a show I produce from 6:30 to 9:30. She always makes a little step in, and she does 10-15 minutes, and we always love having you, Britt. But where are you at right now?
Yes. Well, I'm going to tell you all of the places that I've been at, but I have to say Chill Bar is one of my favorite places to go. It is always like a family there, so I love to go to the Chill Bar where, you can forget about it.
Forget about it. That is the code word. Johnny's laughing right now. You remember seeing Johnny Giovanni? He's in the studio laughing right now.
Yes, it's always amazing. So just grateful for that space and a place where you can go and just have a good time and laugh, and it's always fun. But last night I was at Cork and Thorn. That was an amazing event that I got to perform at down in the Art District. First Friday. It was
nice. Yeah, I forgot it was First Friday. So that's still going on. I didn't even realize it was still going on. Cork and Thorn.
It is.
Yeah. So what was the turnout? How was it? A packed house?
It was a packed house. I was so surprised because it's a holiday. But yeah, it was a packed house. We had a great lineup. It was a good time. Then afterwards we kind of walked around in the Art District and got to see like the liveliness of the culture in Las Vegas, and break dancers and all kinds of stuff. It was
go.
It was
the beat in the street. Yeah. I call it the beat in the street. Yeah. So who was hosting over there at Cork and Thorn?
Oh, 6-8 host that show.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Because I used to do some stuff in the Arts District years ago before the pandemic with my friend Sparkle. Sparkle used to do some spoken word poetry out there and some comedy, and I used to run around the Arts District before the pandemic. So yeah, that was good. Cork and Thorn. I just, you do so many places in Vegas, and then you forget about them, and then you pop back up. So that's good to know that that's still around. So out of all the places that you've performed now, this is going to be a tough question for you. So
okay.
Well, you pick your 2 favorites, okay? We won't make you narrow it down to 1. So of all the places you've performed here in Las Vegas doing your comedy, what are your 2 favorite places that you've been to, and why? Was it because it was a packed house? Was it because the vibe, the producer, the people, your fans? What's your 2 favorite places so far that you've performed at in Vegas?
Okay, so I already said Silver. Now, but that's my heart. Okay?
Thank you.
So I'll pick 2 more. I'll pick 2 more, and the first one that I would say is C3 Comedy After Dark.
Okay.
It's a great show. It's a good time. It's always really fun. And then Jimmy Kimmel was a great experience. Being on Jimmy Kimmel was it was awesome because a lot of out-of-towners come and tourists. And
oh, yeah, that was a good spot you got. I was so proud of you because one minute you're on my stage over at the WSO where we're doing the weekly West Coast Apollo, and then boom, you're up there on Kimmel's show, and I was like, look at you go. I was very proud of you.
Yeah, that was special. That was a special moment. They had the green room. You got to go back there, and one of my favorite comedians was just hanging out back there, and I'm like, what the heck? So
right?
It was just it was a great time.
It's that moment of feeling like I'm really here.
Yeah,
I'm really here because as a comedian, because I could talk to you as a fellow comedian. Boy, some of the spots you play sometimes, you're like, what the heck? It's like, we go from the dark little corners of the rooms to the well-lit rooms to the rooms with no bar to the rooms with a green room and a stocked bar. And, yeah, it's a crazy trip. I tell everybody that the comedy world is like a roller coaster out of control, You go up, you go down, you go upside down. Just buckle up when you go upside down.
Yeah, someone told me, they were like, what I love about you is you perform anywhere.
Yeah, you got, in just the last 2 years, you got some real good experience I've seen, because you've not only learned how to work the stage, but like at my show on Thursdays, you literally learn how to walk the crowd doing Italian dinner theater as you walk in between all the tables. But it is a different kind of up close and personal vibe. So it's good. It's real good. Johnny's smiling. He remembers you. Say hello, Johnny. That's Britney
Hi,
Spears.
young lady. How are you?
Hi, Johnny. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, babe.
Awesome. I'm doing good, too. Thank you for asking.
He's here every Saturday, Britt. He's on my show. We have a section called Mobsters Anonymous where everybody gets a chance to ask Johnny Giovanni straight up any mob question they might have on their mind. Do you have any questions for him about Vegas and when the mob ran things? Because he'll tell you straight up.
I guess the question I have is, are they still running things?
And yes, they are.
He nodded right away and got a big smile. Yeah. It's like I tell everybody, they just look a little different, They're still very much in place. I mean, everywhere you see Johnny all the time. You see Johnny in the corner in his pinstripe suit, looking all dapper, everything matching with his monogram sleeves. But I tell everybody, back in the day, and Johnny knows, they carried that 38 special, that Beretta in their pocket, and nobody wanted to get a close-up hug because nobody wanted to get popped. Well, now you get shot a whole different way. It's called with a cell phone. The guy just looks down at his phone, acts like he's texting, snaps your picture, puts it out there. All the boys know who you are, where you are. Forget about it. 24 hours, history. It's just done on the cell phone now.
Wow.
You got hit without even knowing you got hit. So, wow. If you had to advise any young comedians out there about trying to break in the comedy world, now that you've gotten your feet soaking wet here in Vegas, what would you advise them, Britt?
The advice I would give is it's all about repetition with anything that you're learning and then mastering and understanding. Like, and when you first get on the mic, it's not going to be perfect. You just got to keep getting up there, keep trying, even if you bomb, get back up there and do it again. Because it's all about repetition and becoming like unconscious competent when it comes to your craft or any art that you're doing. So I would just say, like, take your feelings out of it, your ego out of it, and just keep doing it and get better every time you touch the mic. Like, work on your stuff when you're offline, like, and always get back on that stage. And for me, I was doing it so frequently that I got better. It's almost like you can't help but to get a little bit better every time.
Oh yeah, we all saw that. We all saw that. Everybody was with me at the WSO, and me and Katie, we watched you as you went from WSO over to us at the Chill Bar, and yeah, your smile got brighter, your confidence got bigger, and your fan base grew. And that's another thing too. The more and more you're out there, the more fans you pick up. I tell everybody, doesn't matter if you're performing for 12 people or 100, you never know who's in that audience and what they'll connect you to next.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's how it all happened. Was every time that I put myself out there was another connected piece to the puzzle. And I gotta thank you. You put me onto a lot of stage too. Get lit, talk shit. I can remember that. And I had so much fun. But you were really by my side, pushing me along, and
of course,
keep going.
And I have to give a shout out to your mom and dad too, because you were kind enough to introduce me to your mother and to your father. And I always tell everybody, if you've got a mom and dad that supports your career, your desires to be in the entertainment field, that is such a big help, because it helps to keep you grounded. You know, it's really hard for artists that don't have the support of mom or dad, because then they fall, they feel alone, they make it, they got no one to share it with. So props to your mom and dad. I had a pleasure meeting them. And you are a product of your family. You're just a beautiful soul, beautiful person. Can tell right with your stage name, Brit Inspires. And I wish you all the best, Brit. And I keep just smiling big for you, because all of a sudden you're here, you're there, you're everywhere. And I gotta tell you, the only show that I ever felt rattled, the only show, I'm 59 going on 60, that I ever felt rattled was when I invited you to go to Get Lit, Talk Shit. Thank God Shannon the Queen had been a friend of mine for 15 years, because my ass, when I went to go step up on that stage, I fell backwards. Do you remember that? And I could not get my short little legs up on the stage. It was a tall stage. And then Britt and you saw Shannon, she started pulling me up on the stage. Yeah. Johnny, it was the most embarrassing moment. Thank God I was a comedian, because I was like, shit, gravity took over. My butt's way bigger than we thought, because it was holding me down. It's like I took a step up on that stage, boom, just hit that ground. And that was, and as a comedian, that's what you got to do. You just got to learn to go with it. It's like Johnny. Johnny's an ex-boxer, and he had to learn to take all these hits, right, Johnny?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
well, if we're talking about embarrassing moments, I had a time at Popeye's show once where I got on that stage and I went to go tell my jokes, and my press-on fingernail fell off in the middle of my chest. It was like I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh, this is embarrassing. I went and grabbed my nail off the ground.
Did you joke about it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, that was good. That was good. You just reminded me of something that I'll never forget. I have a dear friend, Tamisa Rogers, and she's known in Las Vegas as Lady T. And she was kind enough to assist me in the recording studio years ago. And back in 2007, 2008, we did some tracks together. I took and I wrote some rap songs, and I called it Rap and Gospel Infusion. And you'll have to look it up. Those of you out there, just go to YouTube, go Little J Gambino, Peace and Harmony. That's Rap and Gospel Infusion, soft rap. I wrote the verses. I was doing the soft rap, and then Lady T with her beautiful voice was in the back harmonizing. However, Lady T came to one of my comedy shows way back, and it's funny because it ties in with Shannon the Queen. So me and Shannon the Queen Butler, who was hosting Get Lit Talk Shit 16 years ago, we were in a place called Coffee, Tea, or Me. and we're in this little black-owned and operated coffee house, and we're doing our comedy, and Lady T, a.k.a. Tamisa Rogers, came in to see me, and as I was performing and as the other gentleman was performing, she started laughing. And Lady T is great. She's just great. I've always told her she should be on stage doing comedy because she really gets into laughing, really gets animated. Well, long story short, Britt, guess what happened to her? You think you lost it losing a nail? She leaned forward to laugh, and her weave hit the floor. Her weave hit the floor, and that would have floored anybody. You know, it would have just froze people in their tracks. No, not Lady T. Lady T just stole the show. She grabbed that weave off of the floor. She held it up high. She posed like the Statue of Liberty, and she said, my sisters, I dare you, I challenge you right now. Take off that weave you're wearing. Take off that weave you're wearing and feel free to show your man who you are. And she just held that weave up, and all these girls were looking, people was laughing, people were looking, and then she was challenging them one by one. Come on, sister, I know you got the courage. Pull that weave off right now. Your man don't care. He's still gonna do whatever he does to you tonight. He don't care. Pull that weave off and show him who you are. And it was freaking hilarious because she stole the show. She wasn't even up there performing. I was performing, my buddies were performing, but when that weave of hers hit the ground, she snatched it up in a spontaneous moment, posed like the Statue of Liberty, just held it up there and said, my sisters, join me. Take off this weave and show who you are. It was a moment. It might even be out there on YouTube. You probably would have to say Little J, Coffee Tea Me, Lady T loses her weave or something. It's got to be out there. But could you imagine that, Britt?
I've seen it happen a few times.
I told her, I said, you were made for the stage, Lady T. You were made for the stage. So one of these days, Lady T, I don't know if you're listening, but if you are, when you make your way back to Vegas, I've got a stage waiting for you because I know you can grab the laughs. Without a doubt, you can grab the laughs. All right, that was my phone going off because I forgot to turn it off. So, Britt, what's your plans for this weekend? It's an extra long weekend. What you going to do? You got any shows?
This weekend, well, I did my show last night, and for the rest of the weekend, I think I'm just going to enjoy, maybe go for a hike, maybe go to the farmer's market. I'm just taking it easy because I'm going to get ready for Monday because I'm excited about that.
Motown Extreme, 4:30 to 6:30. There you go.
Yeah.
4:30 to 6:30. All right. Okay,
Yeah.
Britt.
Yeah.
Britt, I am excited for you. I'm excited to see you on that stage with your beautiful headshot behind you. Motown Extreme is really good. They get everybody's headshots. I got your headshots, and then they put them on the stage behind you. So that's really, really cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing you 4:30 to 6:30, and that will be at Motown Extreme on South Las Vegas Boulevard. Be sure and invite your friends. So I'll try to send you out a flyer. This way you can send it to your friends, get more people there to give you support. And like I said, everybody is being filmed live, and everybody's competing for a $10,000 talent package that you can get to take your stuff to the next level. So just come down and shine like the star you are.
Awesome. Oh, wow. I'm excited. Thank you for the opportunity.
Very, very much. You are blessed. You are welcome. And it's good to call you friend. Britt, I wish you all the success, truly, dearly. You're one of my favorites. I have quite a few favorite comedians, but you're one of my favorites because you're just always so kind to everybody. So you keep that light inside you, and I'll see you Monday.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
All right, Johnny.
Bye-bye, honey. Take care. God bless you.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you. God bless. Ciao.
Bye-bye. Do we have anybody?
This call is no longer being recorded.
What's going on? Did we just get tagged by the FBI or what? At least they let us off the hook. They said it's no longer being recorded. They said, "Oh, they're just talking about comedy. We don't want any of that." So, Johnny,
What?
did you make yourself something great to eat last night?
Matter of fact, I did. I made hot sausage.
You did?
Yeah, with peppers.
Oh, with the peppers? Oh, my God. I tell you, Johnny, last time you had my mouth watering when you were talking about, the way you make your shrimp and the way you clean it 3 times and then the big salad. This guy can have you drooling, Mark. Mark is in the studio with us right here. He's my engineer today, keeping me on track. And Johnny's just like, he's everything, you know? If you want a good smell, you just ask Johnny at the end of the room. He always smells good. You want good food, you hope that he'll invite you to dinner. And, you know, everybody's waiting for that dip in the pool.
Well, you know what? Here's the deal. I'm waiting. Marla's got such a very busy schedule.
Very busy schedule.
And she's told me when she gets a break, then we'll do it. Hopefully, you know, within the next week or so, she'll get one day off or something, and then I'll get together because I don't mind putting the food together. That's no problem. Matter of fact, I enjoy it because I'll be with good company. You know what I mean?
There you go.
So I got no problem with that, and I'll make the scampi with the angel hair.
Now, when he
pasta.
says Mala, that's a shout out to DJ Mala and Jeff, wherever you guys are right now. I hope you're having a fantastic holiday. We want you to have safe travels. But yeah, Johnny said as soon as you get back, me, Katie, you, Jeff, and Johnny, of course, we're going to have a beautiful meal. And you know I'm going to bring you sambuca. I already know what you like. I got you sambuca. All right. How was your 4th of July? What'd you do, Mark, sound engineer? What did you do yesterday?
I didn't do much, Jay. You know, nowadays when you're getting older, you try to do as less as possible on a holiday. So, had a good meal, some Mexican food, and I watched a movie and had a glass of wine. That was it.
Hey, glass of wine, Johnny.
Yeah, well, I had some wine
Glass
too
of
with
wine.
the sausage.
Yeah, Gambino and the vino. That always works.
Yeah, but the sausage I get, I don't buy in the store. This is homemade sausage.
Ooh, doesn't he just make you hungry? Doesn't he make you hungry?
Yeah, it's homemade. This ain't that. You don't buy this at Smith's. You know what I mean?
Oh, my
This is
God.
from McCoy.
I am so hungry right now. You know, Mark, it's funny that you said as you get older you don't do much. Now, I'm 59 going on 60. We know Johnny's 85 and don't look a day over 65. He looks great. But it's a funny thing because, you know, I do parodies, right? So there was a time, you remember that popular song, I'm not going to say the words, but you guys know, my neck, my back, right? So you remember that song? So I got on stage and I impersonated an old man. I called him Old Man Bob. And I came out with a walker. I wore a bald cap on my head. And I wore some Jewish glasses down my nose. And I said, my name's Bob. B-O-B, Bob. Doesn't matter how you spell it forward, backwards, it's the same thing. B-O-B. One O, not two. If you do two, you're a boob. I'm not a boob. I like boobs, but I'm not a boob. So my name's Bob, and I went over to this senior dance the other day, and the girls were up there dancing, and I had my walker, and then I said, well, let's play my favorite song. And this song used to go, my neck, my back, So I turned it into, oh my God, my neck, my back. I heard my hip just crack. Move slower, baby, slower, baby, slower, baby.
Oh my!
and then when I was doing the Bob thing, I was like, you know, they put me in an old folks' home. They said I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. I faked that shit. I pretended to have Alzheimer's so I don't have to leave them in my will. Why I got to leave people in my will that are mean to me? I'm going to leave my will to the Pussycat Dolls. That's right. Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Pussycat Dolls. Okay. Hey, do we have another call?
Lorraine and Katie.
Let's have Lorraine. Lorraine. You know Lorraine. She's in New York right now.
Oh, God
Are you
bless
out there, Lorraine?
I am.
Hey, Lorraine Olsen is in the house. How's New York weather?
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Is it beautiful? We got Johnny
Nice.
Giovanni here.
Hi, Johnny.
Hi, baby doll. How you doing?
Okay. I miss being there.
She misses us, Johnny.
Yeah, you'll be back.
I miss you guys.
Well, you know what? We miss you too because I'm being my silly self and I don't have anyone here to put it on Facebook Live.
That's right.
That's Lorraine. See, Lorraine, you
I'll
are
come back.
very much needed in this studio because then people get to see just how goofy I can become. So, how was your 4th of July last night? Did you see a lot of fireworks?
It was tons of fireworks. I sent you a video.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to check it out. So tell me, did you so far, since you're back in New York, did you do the traditional hang out on a stoop and talk to your family?
No, but we had a big party here yesterday.
You had a big party?
There was like 25, 30 people, and we're going to have another party today.
And was it a typical New York house party where you got 25, 30 people all stuffed into one room?
That's right, and I was stuffed along with them.
And then he was just talking about stuffed peppers and sausage. Did you hear him talking about sausage and peppers?
I did. We had sausage and peppers also.
Oh my God! I knew I should have party crashed you last night, Johnny.
You could have called.
I thought about it. I thought, let me bother Johnny right now. So that's good. The weather over there is right. Did you have a good flight? How was the flight?
Yeah, the flight was great. The 5 hours went super fast, and it was great. Everything worked out.
Where'd you land?
Picked me up, and
would you land JFK or LaGuardia?
JFK.
Oh, John F. Kennedy. Do they still have all the crazy people out there? You know, it used to be a time when you landed in John F. Kennedy, the Hare Krishnas would be right out there, you know, doing their little silly things.
No, I didn't see anybody.
Really? Did they clean it up? I heard they cleaned it up since 9/11. You know, they're just not letting people hang out. Yeah. There's
lots of construction. It was hard for him to get in and out. But
really?
We managed. Yeah.
What flight did you take? What airlines?
JetBlue.
JetBlue. Okay. JetBlue. You know, do you remember? Well, I won't say their name, but the initials are TWA. Remember that airline, TWA?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
I'm not going to say their name. I do think they're out of business.
I don't think they're in business anymore.
I don't think they're around.
Yeah, I think they're out of business.
I tell you, I took a flight with them. Oh my God, I'll never forget it. I almost never flew again. So something had happened where they were coming in to land, and the landing gear didn't come out. The wheels didn't come out.
Oh.
Yeah, you want to talk
that
about
happens.
You want to talk about scary.
Maybe that's why they're not in business
anymore. So all of a sudden we're belly flopping on the runway, and the sparks are flying up and the screeching. You know how bad a car sounds when it's screeching its brakes? Well, a plane that does not extend its wheels and just goes, oh my God, I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to die, and it was just going. I thought, man, we're going to end up in the Hudson River, and then I'm expected to hold on to this little safety device they call a cushion under your ass. That teeny little cushion. How is that cushion going to help anybody? That cushion's not going to save anybody. It's a little wafer. It's no bigger than when we have our communion, you know? We do the little communion wafer. Oh my God! I'm like, you got to invest in something better. With all the technology, they need to just make some silicone seats. You know, all those breast implants that women get. Man, those breast implants, they need to just put some of that in the seats, and then you just hit that button, and boom, the seat will have an implant, and you'll float along the river. You won't go anywhere.
They don't care about you.
No, you're right. They don't. They just want their money.
They want their money.
And they don't even give us peanuts anymore.
Let me tell you something. Years ago, when you used to get on a flight, you actually got food. And decent food.
Right?
I ain't kidding. You got decent food. You sat down, you ate. Mama, forget about it. Now, you get on there, you don't get nothing.
And you got to buy your own.
You get a bag of peanuts, and then your drink costs you $30. So what's the sense?
Right.
So bring your own bottle next time.
Well, that's only if you sit in first class and you get a meal.
There you go.
But I could cheat some.
Yeah, but that meal ain't nothing to talk about either.
And speaking of that, good food back there in New York. Have you happened to pass by any Entenmann's cookies or bakery?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did? Oh, my God.
I did, yeah.
Oh, if you could put some Entenmann's in a suitcase, boy, will I make Mama Julia happy.
Hey, I used to do that.
Don't worry,
it's already arranged.
I'm already thinking about it.
It's already arranged. Yeah, you know, I used to be small enough to get into a suitcase myself, but as fate would have it, I never grew up. As you guys know, I'm 5 foot with the hat, but I sure grew out. All that pasta and shit, I grew out. I would cost a lot of money in a suitcase now.
No, when I used to go home years ago, we didn't have no Italian stores here at the time. I used to get like 10 loaves of Italian bread.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, you know how you carry your suits in a
Oh, yeah.
in a bag?
Yeah.
Well, I used to put them in a suit bag, and then I would hang them up on the plane. Then when I get home, I put them in the freezer, and then it would last me
There you
because
go.
there was no Italian.
Yeah.
They had French bread here. They didn't have Italian bread.
That's
back
right,
then.
and it's
I
different.
used to bring it back from back home, and I used to have 10 loaves. And when somebody say, "Hey, Johnny, I'm going to come out to vegan, bring some Italian bread
Yeah.
or some pepperoni or something like that, and stick it." You could get away with it.
Sausage
then.
and
Now,
peppers.
you can't get away with it now. No, I used to bring a gallon of homemade wine.
I used to have a grappa.
Yeah, I used to put it right
Grappa.
between my legs. I used to carry the gallon of wine on the plane. You can't do that no more either. You can't even bring water.
No,
on the
you
plane.
can't.
Yeah, that grappa, forget about it.
You can't even bring water. You have to
No.
make sure it's an empty
Right,
bottle that you
right.
bring through.
I mean, things have
But-
changed that much, but it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah,
Wow.
flying
It was.
used to be fun. Used to be fun.
All right.
So,
I
Lorraine,
better go and let somebody else come.
okay, Lorraine, we are missing you out here in Vegas. Give a hug to Ronnie.
Oh.
Give him a kiss cheek to cheek. Tell him Jay
I
Gambino
will.
says hello. Tell him Johnny says hello. And we'll be looking for you coming
Okay.
back. You coming back on the 9th, right?
On Wednesday, right?
Yeah, okay. We'll be looking for you.
I'll
Keep in
be back.
touch. Keep in touch.
Okay.
All right, Lorraine, much
I
love to
will.
you and Ronnie. Say hello to your brother.
Same to you.
Tell him you got a crazy life out here in Vegas.
He already knows.
Yeah, he already saw it on Facebook, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's like that. It's like that confessional I told you about. I went to the priest. I knocked on the door. He says, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." He said, "I know. I read about it on Facebook.
It's true.
Can't hide anything now."
Everything's on Facebook.
There you go. There you go. All right, Lorraine. You have a
Okay.
beautiful day.
Take
You
care.
too.
Honey. God bless you.
All right. Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.
We got another caller on the line. All right. All
Katie
right.
Jensen.
Hello.
It's Katie Jensen.
Hey, Katie Jensen, the pop opera star.
hey.
It's Katie Johnny.
Hi, Katie. How are you, baby?
Hey, Johnny.
Did he just
y'all were
make you
talking
hungry?
about people up.
He was just talking about what he cooked last night. Stuffed peppers and
Well,
Italian
I wanted
sausage.
to give a shout out to and thank you to Leslie and her husband for inviting us over because, yes, we would have loved your sausages and all that you cooked, Johnny. But I must say, you know, Jay is all about the food. So we walk in and she's like, "Oh, look at this bread. The classic burgers. They're real
Oh,
burgers."
yeah.
There's a lot
I
of
was happy
vegetarian.
about that.
Not pretend burgers and chunky homemade potato salad
Yeah.
and an onion dip. He was in heaven.
I was going on and on about the food, Johnny, because it's been a long time since I went to a barbecue where people served real hot dogs and real hamburgers. Not that soy crap,
I know,
not that
I know.
vegetarian crap. You know, I mean, don't get mad at me,
He's not
my
too into that.
vegetarians. I know that I have a lot of vegetarian fans and a lot of gluten-free fans, and I love all of you. But it's just my personal taste buds. My personal taste buds really wants that 100% beef, and my personal taste buds really wants a beef hot dog. I can't do a soy hot dog. But much love to all my vegetarians out there. Please don't get mad at me. Just listen to my parody song. You can go on YouTube, and it's called Everybody's Tofu Eating. Because I wrote that song based on, you remember the song Kung Fu Fighting? But it says like,
Yeah.
everybody is tofu eating. Yum. All the babies are tofu feeding. Yucky. My girl threw a tofu party. Yum. What happened to eating hearty? There was tofu in my pudding and tofu in my pie. I got so sick of tofu, all the meat lovers wanted to die. Yeah. Just another parody. But I do love my vegetarians. Don't cancel me now, guys. Besides, you have to
Well,
remember,
Tammy-
if my name is not on the check, you have nothing to cancel anyway. So,
Yes, this is true.
freedom of speech.
And I do have to say, Tammy's soup rocked. I like all the veggies, so we balance each other out well. And Tammy made an amazing vegetable soup, so I ate a lot of that. It was good food. So thank you to Leslie and Tammy for telling about the
Yes.
gathering. It was really lovely. We had a good time.
Thank you. It was nice to be at an all-American barbecue again. You know, 'cause,
Yes.
I don't
Good old 4th
recognize.
of July
I don't
barbecue.
recognize food when it's all made of soy. You know, like I had a steak sandwich. I have to admit though, of all the vegetarian things I've ever had, I went to this vegetarian restaurant maybe 6 years ago, maybe just before the pandemic, and I was up there in the Henderson area, and they had a steak sandwich, but the steak was not steak; it was big fat portobello mushrooms.
Oh yeah, I had that.
And it was loaded with the portobello mushrooms. Now that was a synthetic steak sandwich that I loved. I loved that. You know?
I've had that.
See, I like vegetables, so I don't like it when they try to make something taste like meat.
Yeah.
I just like the taste of vegetables, so I like vegetarian food that's just vegetables done amazingly, and it's just delicious. But when you try to make something taste like a burger, it's just never going to taste like a burger. No. I like a veggie burger because it's just vegetables. They're not trying to make it taste like a burger. It's just vegetables and grains and
here's something to make everybody think a little bit. So I was at Trader Joe's one day, and I love putting lemon on all my food, and it was a big bag of lemon, and it said seedless organic lemons. Now come on, you guys, that's not correct. There are no seedless lemons. You got to have a seed to make a lemon. And they put on this bag, seedless organic lemons. Hello? What kind of lemon is this? Lemons always have seeds. It tasted good, right. But I had to analyze that. I was like, there's something very wrong with this packaging here. We got to catch him, Johnny. We got to catch him. So what are you out and about doing today with your mom? Mama Barbara, hello.
Well, she is in the other room getting ready with the TV on loud, so I couldn't be in there. But she's going to head back to California today. So Jay and I should give a little plug to Delilah's Dead. My friend Corrine's daughter, Eva. She goes by Eva Yaz. She has performed at the Chill Bar and Grill for us on Thursday night.
Oh, yeah, she does a good Amy Winehouse. Yeah.
Yes, beautiful. And she's now performing quite often with a band called Delilah's Dead. And today they are playing out in at the Pioneer Saloon. You head out toward Prim. So we're going to go out there, and my sister's going to meet us from California. And then my mom's going to head back to California for a little while, but she'll be back soon. She's been partying with us all month, right?
Your mom is an inspiration to everybody. I mean, your mom's 91. And she shows up at all our shows. She lasts 3 hours. She sings. She dances. She walks with a cane, but she actually walks faster than I do. I'm a bit embarrassed to say that, but it's the truth. She just boogies. I tell you, these older people could teach us a thing or two, Katie, because your mom's 91. She's rocking it. Johnny over here at 85, looking not a day over 65. He's got his arms crossed. I could see his little muscles on his arms there popping, So the seniors got it going on, everybody. You better make way and have respect for the seniors, because not only have they seen more and experienced more, they're staying in shape, they're partying, they're eating great. They got it going on.
Yeah, well, speaking of seniors eating great, though, Jay, we are technically seniors because we did get a meal off the 55 and over menu at Denny's.
I know. At Denny's. At Denny's. We sure did.
Right.
They don't never give me one. They don't. You know what? When I go to the movie theater, I got to show my ID.
Yeah?
To get the
really?
Yeah.
Especially if you're dressed up, Johnny.
Well, no, when I go to...
People just don't dress like you.
They say seniors, da-da-da, and then, can we see your ID? I mean...
Sure.
I have to show my ID. I don't get away with
that. You can see... Well, there are some perks. I do remember, this is the honest truth, when I was turning 55, I forgot. I wasn't thinking about it. And... my son wanted to go to the gym, so I said, hey, let's just go down to the Desert Breeze Community Center. There's a gym there, and see if you'll consistently do it, because it's inexpensive to go there. And then if you're consistently going, then I'll get you a membership, like at the LVAC or whatever they are. So he said, okay. So we go outside, but let's go see how much it is. And as I'm looking at their brochure, it says it was like $3 for him to drop in. And then I look down and I go, oh, I'm going to be 55. It's only $1 for me to go to the gym. And I got really excited about becoming 55. The first time I realized I'm going to get discounts. So I rejoiced that year when I turned 55 because I could go to the gym for $1.
Wow. Wow.
You got to think of the positives, right?
So we can all go out and get the senior special together, Johnny. We can all go to movies and get the senior special together. Yeah. All right.
You got it. There's a lot of good deals out there for 55 and above. Well, you guys have a great last half hour of your show. I love listening to you both. You are hysterical, make me roll and laugh, and tell
Johnny
all
makes
kinds
me
of wonderful
hungry.
stories.
Johnny makes me incredibly hungry every show. Every show, I'm a little mad when I can't go get Italian food. So I do think the caller lines are lighting up. We got other people out there. Katie, thank you for calling in, and give your mama a big hug and a kiss cheek to cheek for me.
Yeah, be safe, honey. Enjoy yourself and have fun.
All right. Do we have another caller out there? Hello.
Hello.
Who is this? Hello, this is Jay Gambino.
You don't know who this is?
Talk to me a little more.
Marla.
You know who this is, your famous English woman.
Oh, my God, it's Ninan. How you doing, Ninan? That's all you had to say. Of course. The woman that talks ever so lovely. I just love talking
I know.
to you.
I love your show, Gambino. Your show is great.
Thank you, Ninan, and I love that you are so supportive and kind and come out to my shows. I really, really appreciate that. You know, everybody out there, if you don't know who Ninan is, you have to look her up on YouTube. Ninan Live, Ninan De Rosa. Is that correct, Vera De Rosa?
Yeah, Ninan de Rosa.
There you go. But Ninan has an incredible talk show. She knows everybody and anybody in this town. And Ninan, I so appreciate that you take time to come to our shows. Whenever you're there, I'm very happy. When I look over and I see you, I'm like, you could have picked anywhere to go and you came to my show. It's just like Johnny. Johnny's sitting here beside me, Johnny Giovanni Rulli. He could be hanging out anywhere and he comes to my show. I just love you guys. I love you so much.
Because your show is so natural, and then you've got all these singers and all these entertainers that come in, and all of them, they have such beautiful voices. I just wish that we had more paying entertainment for them. But what I wanted to mention was yesterday, which was July the 4th, and being British, we don't really celebrate it, but I celebrated it, and I went to the Nevada Chamber Orchestra.
Okay.
And that was at the Emerald at Queensridge. And this orchestra was a lot of young people in it, and there was a big attendance to this performance they put on, and it was music from Bernstein to Berlin. It was absolutely amazing, and it was absolutely beautiful, and I just wanted to give a shout out to this chamber of the Nevada Chamber Orchestra, because it was so beautiful and so wonderful, and the talent was amazing.
Amazing. I haven't even heard of it, so I certainly want to check it out. I think it's something
check
Katie
it out.
could probably appreciate because she likes that opera, you know?
Yeah, well, they're going to have another Gershwin by George on September the 21st. They're going to have another one. But this was amazing. But you were also talking about barbecues and hot dogs, and they had a beautiful set there. It was the food, the hot dogs. I haven't had a hot dog in years. And the hamburgers and the food, everything was absolutely fabulous.
And
of course, you know, a lot of friends.
Was it the classic real meat? Was it real meat or was it soy?
No, it was real meat. It was a real, well, as far as I know it was. It was.
Yes. Oh,
it was real meat.
I was like a kid in a candy store. I was like, 100% beef patty? You mean a real beef hot dog? You mean a classic Coke? I was even happy down to the classic Coke. No zero Coke, no sugar-free, no Diet Coke, no nothing. Classic Coke. I'm just old school. I like everything classic, you know?
Yeah, well, being English, we sort of, that's how I was brought up. Everything was very natural, and we didn't have all this artificial stuff. So I absolutely loved it. It was amazing. I haven't had a hot dog, and I haven't had a hamburger in years because I don't really eat hamburgers. But everything was delicious. But the orchestra itself, with the young people, a lot of young people in this orchestra, and it was just absolutely amazing.
Oh, that's great.
You know what? Thank you for sharing that. You know what you just reminded me of? When I spent time in England, because I told you I was in Ipswich for a while, I got the best fish and chips I ever had in my life. Now, I love fried fish, and in England, what I loved, Ninan, was they wrapped it in newspaper. It was newspaper, and the fish and was wrapped in newspaper. It's called fish and chips, and the chips was what we call French fries. And oh my God, it was so good. It was like I didn't know if the newspaper wrapped around the fish made it better or what, but it was something so good about
normally, yeah, normally they put a plain piece of paper first, and then they have the newspaper underneath it. But if you can't get good fish and chips in England, you can't get good fish and chips anywhere.
That's
because
right.
England that's what they're known for. Every time I go to
didn't know
England,
they
the
were
first
known for
thing-
that, but man, is it good. It is so good.
Oh, yeah. But you have to put the salt, a little salt, and then you can put the vinegar. You got to have the vinegar on it. Got to sprinkle the vinegar on it, and then also you can have like a sausage. They have these sausages as well. You can get that with it as well. Absolutely delicious. First thing I have when I go to England is fish and chips. Oh,
Beautiful. Yeah, that's going to be my guess. If I ever make it back to England, that's what I'm going to do. And the other thing I love, absolutely love, is plum pudding. I love that plum pudding. Oh, my God. It's so good.
Good Lord. I haven't had plum pudding in years.
I'll never forget. I don't know if you're familiar with the recording artist Pink Floyd, but Pink Floyd is known for that album The Wall, and he says in the middle of it, "If you don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat?" I was like, eat that meat, eat that meat. That pudding is good. That plum pudding is so good. It's so good. I'm all about the food, Nina. And it shows.
All about the food.
I'm all about the food. You know, the whole world's working on a six-pack. I'm working on the whole keg. You know, I figure, you know, people go get in shape. I'm like, round is a shape, you know. The rounder I get, I'll look like a 0 next to somebody tall and thin with a perfect 10. I get it all worked out.
Oh, you're just Gambino. That's all you. You are Gambino, and if you aren't what you are absolutely amazing. Doesn't matter how fat you are and how short you are Gambino. You're known in Vegas as Gambino.
Thank you, Nina, and you are awesome. You're incredible. You're wonderful. And just the fact that you take the time to come to my shows, it means so much. I adore you. I enjoy when you bring your friends, and I want you to keep doing it. Oh, and I don't know if you heard, but I became the resident MC comedian for Motown Extreme. So every Monday, 4:30 to 6:30, on Las Vegas Boulevard, there's a show called Motown Extreme Laughs and Lyrics. They have made me the resident MC comedian. They made my DJ Mala is the resident DJ. And it's an early show, 4:30 to 6:30. And we're actually filming in front of a live audience. We're being filmed by Tubi, Netflix, and Prime Video. So if you have a chance...
Fabulous.
Come out to Motown Extreme every week. They're going to have different Motown legends, different tribute artists. I'm going to do my comedy. Tim Stroud's going to be back there doing his comedy. We'd love to see you come through.
Tim is great. Tim is going to be a number one comedian. He is so natural and he's so great. I know he gets very nervous sometimes when he goes on set, but he is absolutely amazing, and everybody should listen to this guy.
And he's so nice.
Tim Stroud.
Say it loud, Tim Stroud. Say it loud, Tim Stroud.
The little guy.
Yeah, the little guy, right. Hey, go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah, the little guy.
Give him a Johnny plug. Say it loud, Tim Stroud.
Say it loud, Tim Stroud.
There you go, Tim. You got it right out the mouth of Johnny Giovanni. And you got a major plug from Ninan, the famous talk show host from the UK right here in Las Vegas. Ninan, call me anytime. Come to my shows. You know, you have VIP with me anywhere I'm at. So thank you.
Thank you. Love
Thank
you all. Hey, Johnny, you take care of Gambino, okay?
I will, I promise you. God bless you, honey, and be safe.
You too. Love you all.
We love you, Ninan. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
All right, I think the phone lines are ringing again. Who do we got out there? Hello.
Hello, Jay. Can you hear me?
I hear Elizabeth Ashton. Hey. How you doing, Elizabeth?
Thanks so much for having me on.
Of course,
I'm doing great, and
we played two of your songs.
Thank you so much for playing those.
Did you get to hear them? Did you actually get to hear them on the radio?
Yeah, I've been listening to your whole thing. I love how you have a dynamic number of people from different backgrounds come on. Your last caller reminds me, my grandfather was actually, he was an American journalist for the Deseret News. You could Google him. He was a philanthropist. His name was Wendell J. Ashton. Anyway, and he also went to England quite a lot. That's my heritage. So I kind of love that you just incorporate,
Now,
so
have
many
you
different
met, have you had the
backgrounds
opportunity to meet Nina face to face?
I would love to meet her.
We'll have to arrange that because she knows everybody and anybody. And like she just said, one of the comedians that's in my show, Tim Stroud, she said he's going to go on to be big and famous. So you definitely want to meet Nina. Nina, and if you're still listening out there, this is Elizabeth Ashton. She's a singer-songwriter, recording artist, but even more, she does something for the community by day. Tell them what you do by day, Elizabeth.
Yeah, so I implement behavioral therapies in homes, clinics, and schools. I also do speeches at College of Southern Nevada and UNLV to promote mental health awareness. And I love your segments about how you're promoting mental health awareness and suicide prevention. I'm actually certified in suicide prevention.
We need it.
So and I also have a podcast that the Are You Mad with Elizabeth Ashton? It's on Apple Podcasts now. And so your interview will be on there soon, as well as Katie Jensen's. Of course, I met her, and she's so lovely. And, yeah.
Katie, if you're listening, Elizabeth just plugged you. Thank you, Elizabeth. That's very kind of you. And I want to know what you're doing right now as far as your songs. Do you have a whole album you're ready to release? Because when you're ready to do a CD release party, I think we can honor you over at the Chill Bar if you want to get together with us.
Oh, I know. I would love that. So I put out songs pretty much at least once every single month, sometimes twice, 2 songs a month. And I do them all as singles, though. If I put them all together, it'd probably definitely be an album. And I appreciate that. Yeah, I would love that. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be amazing. And we could also have a nice reunion because you met a lot of people over at the WSO. And then everybody I got going on at the Chill Bar, they are fantastic. I mean, you got to come through the Chill Bar and let everybody see you shine like a star because Johnny's always with us. I don't think you've met Johnny in person, have you? Johnny Giovanni?
No, and actually I wanted to ask him a few questions.
Go ahead, ask him a mob question. He's the real deal. He's
okay,
85.
So I was thinking
Go ahead.
when you were talking about that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was thinking, I was brought up very fanatically LDS. I'm not anymore, but so then I was thinking I'd like to hear his memories of, we were known as the Mormon Mafia, the Latter-day Saints worked with Howard
the
Hughes
Mormon Mafia. I like that. I like that.
I don't know about that.
Johnny's being honest. I don't know about that. It'd be a mafia that doesn't cuss. They never drop the F-bomb. They just say forget about it.
They go to church on Sunday.
There you go. Go ahead, Liz. Ask him what you want.
No, but when did you have any connections with Howard, that whole time period? That might have been before your time, but Howard Hughes, did you know him?
Howard
I don't know.
Hughes?
I
I didn't know him personally, no.
But he knows who he is.
He was here in town when I was here when he bought the Desert Inn. What he did is he had a suite at the Desert Inn, and he was staying there, and they asked him to move because they had a hard roller coming in. So what he did is he went down and he bought the place. And he threw, and the people who were running it, he threw them out. That's what he did.
Yeah, because I know the Mormons settled Las Vegas, but I know they did work for Howard Hughes, right?
Yeah, he stayed at the Desert Inn, and when they asked him to leave, he went and bought the Desert Inn, and that was bottom line.
Yeah, because I'm in psychology. I'm a therapist in psychology, so I read all about how he didn't leave the room for months. He must have had a mental health condition.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Is that correct? Yeah.
His fingernails are 5 or 6 inches long.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to sound weird, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. Anybody with super long fingernails, how do you wipe your booty? How do you wipe your booty? Seriously.
Maybe he gets somebody to do it.
Maybe he was rich enough. That's for sure. That's for sure. Because ladies, I love feminine beauty. I love it. But sometimes I see some ladies.
That's too bad.
With these dragon nails, and I'm a comedian. It always goes in the comedic form. I'm like, how do you wipe your booty?
I mean, what do you need him that long
But he must
for?
have struggled with, like, what is it, agoraphobia or something, where he couldn't leave, his place. Some people, that's a real thing for some people. They have a real fear of leaving their house. So that's
That is
he
very
struggled with
real.
that.
That is very, very real, what you're talking about.
Well, back in the 60s and 70s, they always used to have the little finger that was real long because they used to use that white stuff to put up their nose. See?
Oh, the powder. The yayo.
They used to keep the little finger, that one there always used to be long.
Oh, you're exactly right. He's talking about when you would grow that long pinky nail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They used to do that for the cocaine.
For the yayo.
But now, I mean, some of them are like 6, 8 inches. Well, what are you going to do with all that? I mean, my God, it's just, what are you going to do? I don't know. I don't know how you can wash your face.
Wash your face.
Right. Well, speaking of mental health, I'm also promoting a policy to government. So I'm working on my Master of Public Health and I'm especially focusing on individuals struggling with the DSM-5 diagnostic eating disorders, and which is very prevalent here in Clark County among the young generation. And so I want to help. I'm getting a policy out there that I'd like to promote to government, and it's to offer more mental health resources in schools. And it's called Freed First Episode Rapid Early Intervention. And it's a proven academic based way to help these kids get more mental health resources, which I feel like is so needed right now here in Clark County. And actually, my son just graduated from University of Reno in technology and engineering. He's helping me start an app that's going to be kind of like your personal counselor, and with proven cognitive behavioral therapy techniques that I've used with my clients that I've seen have helped and worked. And so I'd like to kind of promote this policy and this app to kind of help, because a lot of times people with mental health conditions, there's stigmas attached to it, and eating disorders a lot of times go undiagnosed because of the stigma and the shame associated with it. So some of these younger kids turn to apps now. So that's why I was thinking the app would be beneficial to them to get the resources
I don't
they
mean
need.
to interrupt while you're speaking, but you can tie into my show that I do once a month. One Saturday of every month, I do a show at the Art Gallery, and it's a promo show for the City of the World Arts Center in the Meadows Mall. I would love for you to come down on a Saturday when you're available, because it would tie right into what you do. What I do is 2 to 5. I invite some of my singers to come down and combat depression through creative expression. And what we're teaching everybody is, don't lay in bed because you're depressed. Don't just sit there crying. Do something. Write a poem, write a song, sing a song, tap dance, draw a picture, paint a picture.
Go out and rob a bank.
Yeah, go out and rob a bank. Hey, I got to agree, Johnny. That would make anybody feel better if you could get away with it. If you can get away with it. Now, getting caught isn't going to feel good, but getting away with it would be quite the rush. I still want to know where you put the money, Johnny. I still want to know. That was funny, Elizabeth. He said, feel better, go rob a bank.
I think this is why you and I connect, Jay, because you use your comedy. I use my music to help work through my mental health struggles, and that's what I teach my clients. It's exactly what you're talking about, turning unhealthy behaviors to healthier ones.
Exactly.
Kind of like your first interview, how you were helping her, get out in the community, help people who have been through what she's been through. People aren't going to know what it's truly like to go through something unless you've been through it.
That's right.
She would do really good. I work with Central Christian Church at the God Behind Bars program, where she can help a lot of the people there. I don't know, just an idea I had.
Well, I think you got
involved
fabulous ideas, and I think you do a lot of good for the community. I would love to. I'm personally inviting you right now, so grab a pen and paper and write it down so that you don't forget. Saturday on the 12th, Saturday, July 12th, everybody's going to be at the Meadows Mall between 2 and 5 p.m. It's a free event. It's called the City of the World Art Gallery, and that's where we promote to combat depression through creative expression. So if you would like to come down and perform 1 or 2 songs and then actually tell people what you do by day, that would be a big help. It would tie right into what we do. I do have entertainers come in and do 1 or 2 songs, but the fact that you do therapy by day, you should really try to join us July 12th. It's a free event. Everybody that comes through gets 1 free glass of wine. Nobody has to buy anything. Everything at the art gallery is for sale, and the people that have their stuff for sale, it's a nice extra income for them. There's a lot of senior citizens that do it to, they paint and draw to take away the lonely hours. There's a lot of widows that do it. And then there's a lot of teenagers with their art on the wall over there. And you already know firsthand what the teenagers are going through. So please, Elizabeth, if you're available Saturday, July 12th, 2 to 5, come on down. It'll be a great chance for you to express yourself, get some new fans, tell people who you are, even tell people about your day job. And the paparazzi always slides through and takes a bunch of pictures. So mark your calendar for
Nice.
I think that would be a great fit in for you.
Yeah,
because
I think you should come because he's going to put a couch in there too.
And he wants you to sit on the couch with him. He just looked at your picture. He just saw you in the red dress, and he said, "Wow, that's who's on the phone with us." So,
oh, you guys are so nice. You're very nice.
You'll have to come down and join us. But on a serious base, yeah, please come down and join us. If anybody has any questions for anything with combating depression and suicide prevention, then you have your chance to talk to them directly. Bring some extra business cards and let the community know you're out there, because I really admire what you do. You have a serious job by day, and then you do music at night. It's just like props to Katie Jensen. You had her on your show. By day, she's a school teacher. She teaches children music together, vocals, and she does something nice and fun for the kids. And I always tell her, these kids are going to grow up and they're going to remember you. They're going to be like, who was my favorite teacher? Katie Jensen. So I love when you guys
just got the chills. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just got the chills. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we really need to help these kids because, like, whoever's in their lives when they're young, that's when their frontal lobe's developing. That's, it's so impressionable to how, they turn out long term, So that's amazing. I love that she does that too. Helps
now
kids.
Let's think about that, in a comedic form. So you were talking about the frontal lobes developing. Do you realize that in our generation, when we were teenagers, we were in a sadistic generation? Our parents would tell us go outside and play. And we'd go outside and what would we play? We'd play games with our friends called dodgeball. Okay? Our frontal lobes were not developed and we're letting somebody slam us in the face with the ball. Our friends. These aren't our enemies.
I know.
These are
I
our
live
friends.
in New Jersey, and I know.
Slam us upside the head with the ball, knock us out a little bit. And this was a fun activity, and our parents were happy because it was free. It was like, sure, knock my kid's brains
I know,
around.
it was like
free.
a different time. We go out play, and
knock him out. He
had
can
no
go to bed
idea
early,
where we
you know?
were. It was a different time. Come back when it gets dark, right?
Right,
It's such
right.
a different time.
Yeah. Oh, and I got
Yeah.
a movie for you to check out now. That I mean this
Okay.
sincerely, because you were raised Mormon, and you just talked to Johnny about Mormon Mafia. There is a movie out there. You need to look it up. If you have to order it, maybe it's $3, $4. I suggest everybody out there, you want a clean mob movie? It's a funny-ass comedy. It's called Mobsters and Mormons. Mobsters and Mormons.
I've heard about it. Yeah.
You gotta rent it. You gotta watch it. It's hilarious. You can watch it with your family. It's just fantastic. It's the only mob movie I ever watched where they didn't have any bloodshed, and it was just great because the basis is it's a mob boss, and he gets indicted, and so they put him in a secret witness, and they drop his ass over there in Utah, right in the middle of a Mormon community, and the Mormons have never seen anything like this Italian family from Jersey, and the Italian family had never seen nothing like these
no
blonde-headed Mormon people.
Totally. I mean,
Yeah.
it's probably good for both sides. Yeah.
Opposites,
Just learn something.
and it is just hilarious. And the minute the wise guy family moves in, the Mormons come over on their bicycles and they're unloading their U-Haul truck, and they're being helpful like they are. They just start unloading the boxes. Well, the teenage daughter and teenage son come out and start boxing them. They whip their ass right away, saying, "Hey, Dad, they're trying to steal our stuff off the truck," And they're like, "Hey, stupid!" It's a couple of Mormons trying to be helpful, and the movie is just a laughing minute from that point. But it's called Mobsters and Mormons. So if anybody wants a feel-good, funny movie, it doesn't matter if you're a Mormon, it doesn't matter if you're Italian.
Order it.
It's hilarious.
I'm gonna order
Mobsters
it.
and Mormons.
I'm going to buy it.
I think you should. It's a feel-good movie.
Yeah, and I think we learn from each other, like, people from different cultures and backgrounds. That's how we learn. If we don't get out there and experience things, how are we going to learn? You know, so I
Well,
love like the opposites.
do have
I love that.
something in common with the Italians. They're family oriented. They're family oriented.
Yeah.
Many of them.
That's probably why the Mormons and mobsters get along so well.
There-
yeah, like
there you
the
go.
loyalty, right?
Yeah, and the respect.
The loyalty aspect.
You gotta respect your elders. Yeah, you guys
Yeah, I
gotta
was
check
brought
that
up that way
movie
for
out. It's
sure.
hilarious. Johnny's already
Definitely have to
laughing.
check that out.
Oh my God.
That is so funny.
The mob number.
Yeah, they're like.
I'm gonna get the movie.
You got to get it, Mobsters and
I'm gonna
Mormons.
get it.
Because
I
right
get-
away, the teenage son and daughter go out there and kick butt on the two innocent guys on the bicycle. And the dad's like, what are you doing? We've only been here an hour. They're like, Dad, they were lifting stuff off the truck. Mormons are like, no, we were helping you. We were welcoming you.
Right? Exactly. Like, I had no idea what they were getting themselves into. I love it.
Yeah, you got to watch the movie. So listen, Elizabeth, I'm inviting you firsthand, July 12th. Come on down to City of the World Arts
Yeah.
Center.
So okay. So I am already. So I sing for private events. You know, the music that I write. So I have something on that day already committed to. When's the next one after that? I will promise I'll commit to the one after.
Okay, after that,
it's it's a private party.
First Saturday. It's always the first Saturday of every month. The only reason
First
why
Saturday. So I'll come to the next one, like for sure. You know what I mean? I'll commit to that.
Our gig got moved this time because I'm very loyal to my DJ. I have the best DJ in the West, DJ Mala Montoya.
Mm-hmm.
She's also a Selena tribute artist, but she had to go out of town yesterday for the 4th of July, so we moved it to Saturday the 12th. But it's always the first Saturday of every month. So all you people out there, no promo show today. It's been moved to Saturday, July 12th. And then after that, we're going to go back to the usual schedule of the first Saturday of every month. And we'd love to have you out there. Elizabeth, come on out. You mix and mingle. Let everybody know what you do. Again, this is Jay Gambino with the legendary Johnny Giovanni right here at KSHP 107.1. We're about to get a public service announcement, a PSA for the City of the World Art Gallery. Elizabeth, thank you for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me on and playing my music.
He came back here and he looked good. He's not the old Ibushi.
I don't know what just happened, but bear with us. Public service announcement, PSA. How you guys doing out there in Las Vegas? This is Little J Gambino and the crew waiting to entertain you by bringing a little unity in the community. As you know, suicide is on the rise. Not a good thing. Let's learn to combat depression through expression. Creative expression. You know, we all have a God-given talent. Whether we paint, we draw, we sing, we dance. The first Saturday of every month is your time to shine like the star you are. Come down to the Meadows Mall, City of the